For KDSJ Local Sports, Clayson Davis reporting as we recap our final winter sports team that we follow here with KDSJ Sports, and that is Black Hills State University women's basketball. I'm now joined by the head coach of the Lady Yellow Jackets, head coach Kelly Kruger. Joins me with KDSJ Sports. Anyways, Coach Kruger, I appreciate the time.
Yeah, it's good having you here.
So in your first season at the helm of the Jackets, 18-11 overall, with your season ending to eventually a Final Four team in Colorado Mesa. Overall, what's your first impression of your first season at the helm of the Yellow Jackets?
Well, I think we exceeded some things. I know coming in, when we met way back in August, we talked about all the newness, new staff, completely new staff with the head coach and assistants, a lot of new players. Brady, the only player that played a lot of minutes the year before. I know Audrey did a little bit. Mo did a little bit before she got hurt. But we had transfers come in that did play at other institutions, but they never played together. So we kind of took that as a challenge, and I really thought that our kids really progressed. Being as a fist, being as one, became closer together as the season progressed. I know we started out 1-5. We lost 5 straight, basically one possession games. I didn't know which way the season would go, but give credit to the kids. They really pulled together, and, we just started playing a little bit better basketball. I think I started doing a little bit better job as a coach as well. And, we got to where we had 9-game winning streak at one time. And, the last week of the season, we were playing for the second seed in the conference. And I don't know if anybody thought that we would do that with the group that we had. But kudos to the kids because they did an awesome job. And, I think I even say this, if I had done a little bit better job, I think we would have been in the NCAA tournament. I think that would have been really a feather in our kids' caps. But I'll tell you what, I was really impressed with how we pulled together, and I thought overall it was a pretty good year for us.
You went 10-2 at home, and also just released that both men's and women's basketball regarded as one of the highest attended basketball games at the top in the RMAC and also in all of NCAA Division II. Talk about the success of playing at A2 Arena and how you guys have been able to do really well at home this season.
Well, it's a tremendous experience to play here. Really, I think our kids really, they see that when they go on the road and gyms are empty. Not many people there. They can hear me too well. So, I think they feel like this is what college basketball should be all about. And then in recruiting, we tell the kids that. We tell the kids like, hey, we tell those recruits that, hey, you got a chance to play in front of people. And women's basketball, not just basketball, but women's basketball here at Black Hills State in the Spearfish community and area is a big deal. And they get to play in front of people. They get supported in many, many ways. And I just feel like it is what it's all about. And to coach in front of people like that, coach in front of crowds, of having over 1,000 people every game at home and bigger crowds, on special nights is really a neat experience as well.
You've coached at a bunch of different stops in your tenure as a head basketball coach. Where does A2 Arena on a college game day rank as far as all the places that you've coached at, as far as playing in a certain venue?
Well, I think as high, if not right there. At Southwest, we really drew well. Then at special nights like here too, the crowds exceeded, because of special activities going on and that type of thing. But it's right there, as good as any, if not better. And you learn to appreciate that because I remember started coaching women's basketball back in 1981. Hey, not 1881, 1981, and not having many people there. And then just seeing the game grow, people learning to appreciate it. But here it's really special because people here really appreciate what we're trying to do. They really appreciate the team and the gals and what they're trying to get done on the floor. And they make a big deal of it. And I think our kids, try to give back by how hard they play and how they compete. And I think that showed with the success that we had at home this year.
As we stated to you previously, Coach, you only had one returning starter from a season ago in Brady Schlabs. Before we dive into the rest of the team, talk about her performance from a leadership position and also being able to establish some solid games offensively, but especially on the defensive side of the ball for your team this season.
Well, Brady did a good job. I mean, she came in she played last year, made second team all-conference, playing with 4 seniors around her. Well, this year she had to learn that my leadership role is going to change. I'm going to have to step up a little bit more, assume a little bit more responsibility. New system, you got to learn to play a new system. 2 years ago, they played with a lot of on-ball screens. This year, we played more off-ball screens, movement, traditional motion, ball reversal, that type of thing. It probably took her a little bit to get used to that, but I think by Christmas time, she was really bought into what we were doing on both ends of the floor. I really, not that she wasn't, but I just think it takes a little bit to get used to that. And I think she really started to fulfill her role as a leader as well on both ends. And I think that was huge for us, because I think that she helped bring us together. We talked a little bit about being a fist. I think she helped bring us together as a fist. And I think it showed. She'd be in first team all conference, led the league in assists. And I think they appreciate how she plays the game as well.
And you only had one senior on this year's squad as well, Coach. Talk about her contribution to this year's team and also having pretty much almost a brand new team. Many of those girls have never played together prior to this season. How they've eventually become that fist that you preach so much about.
Yeah, Brindley McRae was our only senior this year. Brindley came in and did an awesome job. I think again, her third school in 3 years. It takes a little bit to get used to the adjustment to the culture and that type of thing. But I think the last half of the season, she really started to play, and she really started to do things the way that we envisioned her doing it. I think sometimes when game season doesn't get off to a good start, you kind of doubt yourself a little bit. And I think that's the way it was for her too, because she wasn't shooting very well. But then when she started seeing the orange thing go in the orange cylinder more consistently for her, I think her confidence really grew, and she became much more comfortable with what we were doing. And then I think that showed really well too down the stretch, because she makes second team all conference, and just did a great job. And her role will be hard to be filled, so that's what the recruiting aspect of it will be. But because she has a scorer's mentality, just not a shooter's mentality, but a scorer's mentality, and we need to fill that void.
Who surprised you as far as someone in the preseason you didn't expect to have a bigger role that eventually surprised you and really took the RMAC by storm?
Well, I think Sawyer Stabner did a good job. I think Sawyer's somewhat limited at times offensively, because she doesn't shoot the ball great, but her effort, her rebounding was really good for us as far as her ability to get to the glass, putting it on the floor, and then offensively just really pursuing the glass. I think that was huge for us. Audrey Norville did a good job for us, really steady on the defensive end. I'd like to see her be more aggressive offensively. I think that would be key for us down the road. I think she did a good job. Addie Branscombe, up to the point where she got hurt. She was leading the team in scoring. I think at 13 a game. She got hurt back in early December. But we kind of recovered from that. That was one of those moments that really helped pull us together at that time. I think we had to say, hey, she's out, but we got to become tighter to be successful. But I think that was off to a good start. Something that really surprised me is that I think that I think our freshman kids did a good job. I think Allie Glasscock did a great job. And then even some of our redshirt kids that redshirted the year before, they did a good job for us. So, I think that, we were not completely surprised by some of their performances, but we were pleasantly surprised at how early they made the adjustment to what we were trying to do on the floor.
So now that your first season's underneath your belt, Coach, here at Black Hills State, what does the offseason look like as far as talent development and the progression of your team as they start to get prepared for next season? And also, is there any recruiting update that you can legally provide us as well?
I can't provide anything legally right now, but we've hit the transfer portal a little bit. We did sign 2 freshmen last year, J.C. Jansen and Blake Thompson. 2 kids that made All-State here in South Dakota and in Nebraska. 2 All-Staters are going to come in, and I think they're going to end up being really good players here at Black Hills. But we have hit the transfer portal this spring. We've got 1 commitment, a verbal, and then I think we're close to getting another verbal commitment, and they're going to help fill the void. I mean, that shooting aspect, that be able to shoot the ball. If there was a flaw in our offense this year, it was our ability to shoot the 3 better, the perimeter shot better. I think these 2 kids possibly will really help us with that. Our kids are hungry. Our spring workouts have gone really well. I think the success that they had this year and being so close, I think seeing the success of Colorado Mesa, to win the regional, then go on to the Elite 8, I think, and win there to be a Final Four team was really huge for our kids. Because I think our kids really felt like there in the home game, before we played them in the conference tournament, they felt like they could have won those games. I mean, I think after watching the film and that thing, I think they came away and said, hey, if we just would have done this better or that better, we could have won those 2 games. Now, the conference tournament game, they have a championship pedigree. I mean, they just upped it another notch. But I really feel like our kids are hungry. I think also the success of our men's program this year going deep inspires them as well. So I think we've had a good spring so far, hitting the weight room. Kellen does a great job in there. Skill work, we've done some team things. We've talked to our kids about improving their ability just to make plays. So that's been a focus. But it's been good. Now we've got a few kids nicked up a little bit, but I think they're on the mend too, and I think they'll get back with us very shortly here too. So it's been very positive since the end of the year.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thank you for taking the time to recap this year's basketball season, and looking forward to seeing the Jackets back on the hardwood here coming up next fall.
Hey, Clayson, thank you, and I appreciate your support throughout the year.